Okay, let's just try and unpack this. It's almost hard to believe, right? Imagine waking up to that news. A number that just stops you in your tracks. $1.79 billion.
Yeah, billion with a B. It's staggering. That's the Powerball jackpot we're diving into today. An event so huge it dominates headlines everywhere, makes everyone pause and just think, wow.
Absolutely. And our mission today really is to go deeper than just the headlines for this historic drawing on September 6, 2025. We want to peel back the layers, understand how these massive lotteries actually work, the kind of immediate shockwaves a win like this sends out.
Exactly. And crucially, draw out the lessons, the really critical advice from people who've actually been through it,
Yeah.
lived that life-altering fortune. We're aiming for insights that stick with you, insights that maybe you can even apply, whether you play or you're just fascinated by sudden, massive change.
Yeah, because it's not just about the lucky tickets, is it? It's about the enormous shift in people's lives, the incredibly complex choices that suddenly appear. We will, of course, get to the winning numbers, the locations. But the real focus, I think, needs to be on that wisdom from past winners, from financial experts. That's what we want to equip you with, a deeper understanding, not just of Powerball, but the psychology, the practicalities of handling that kind of well.
Indeed. So, okay, let's jump in. The drawing, September 6, 2025. It wasn't just one winner for that $1.79 billion. It was two tickets. Both matched all the numbers.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do we know the numbers?
We do. They were 11, 23, 44, 61, 62, and the Powerball itself was 17. So two separate tickets splitting almost $1.8 billion. The scale is just, hard to grasp.
It really is. And you can just imagine the online frenzy, right? The second those numbers drop.
Oh, instantly.
Powerball winner, who won Powerball numbers tonight? Search engines must have just lit up.
Absolutely. Worldwide, overnight. But think beyond the digital buzz. Think about the winners themselves. That immediate, almost physical shock. We hear stories from past winners, this feeling of unreality, disorientation, and bam, instant pressure. Life-changing decisions needing to be made, like yesterday.
Under a massive spotlight, too, potentially.
Exactly. It's a sudden shift into a world very, very few people are prepared for.
So, while the jackpot resets now, right, back to $20 million for Monday's drawing, keeping the dream going for others.
The cycle starts again.
For these two winners, the real journey, the real challenge is just beginning. They woke up billionaires. So the huge question isn't just did they win, it's what on earth do they do now?
That really is the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? And it's fascinating how consistently past winners and experts answer it. The number one thing, almost universally, secure your privacy.
Privacy, okay. Before anything.
Seriously, before you tell anyone, maybe even before you tell your closest family, get a plan for anonymity.
That sounds extreme. Is it really that necessary?
It's not about being sneaky. It's a shield. Think about it. You instantly become a target for relatives you haven't heard from in years, for people with business ideas, some good, some terrible. And sadly, even for those with bad intentions.
Right, I see. So privacy isn't just about enjoying the win quietly.
It's self-preservation. It's about protecting your sanity, your identity, while you figure out this massive change. You need breathing room.
It is striking how often that comes up in winner stories. But isn't the first impulse just pure joy? Wanting to celebrate, tell everyone, buy things? Is that so bad right away?
Oh, the impulse is completely natural. Who wouldn't feel that? But the experiences of past winners, well, they suggest it can be really detrimental, surprisingly quickly. That immediate rush to spend or share the news often leads to long-term problems. Without a plan, that euphoria, it can turn into overwhelm, anxiety, even paranoia pretty fast.
Wow, paranoia.
Yeah, winners talk about feeling like they've lost control. Their lives, relationships, even their safety suddenly feels fragile, compromised. Which brings us to the second crucial step, tied right into the first. Build your expert team. Before you go public, before you make any big money moves.
Okay, an expert team. What does that look like? It's got to be more than just one financial guy, right?
Oh, absolutely. This takes a village, so to speak, a multidisciplinary team. You need, first off, a top-notch attorney, someone specializing in large estates, trusts. They can help set up ways to claim the prize anonymously, like a blind trust or an LLC if state law allows.
Right, legal shield.
Exactly. Then, a certified financial planner or a wealth manager. Crucially, someone experienced with ultra-high net worth clients. They guide the long-term investment strategy.
Okay, lawyer, financial planner.
And definitely a tax specialist. The tax implications of nearly $1 billion, even half of it,
Okay.
they're huge.
Yeah.
Federal, state, maybe local taxes. It's incredibly complex. Good tax planning is essential to avoid losing a massive chunk unnecessarily.
That makes sense. Anything else?
Some winners strongly recommend a therapist or a life coach. Someone to help navigate the immense psychological shift, the emotional roller coaster, the pressure from others. It's a lot to handle.
That's a much broader team than I think most people imagine. It really shows the complexity. And speaking of complex decisions, claiming the prize, there's that big choice, cash option or the annuity. We all hear the terms, but what are the real implications with this kind of money?
Yeah, that's one of the first and possibly biggest financial decisions they'll make. And they have very different outcomes. The cash option is just that a single upfront lump sum. For this $1.79 billion jackpot, the cash value was estimated around $800 million, give or take. And that's before taxes.
So less than the headline number, but all at once.
Right. The big advantage is immediate control over a massive amount of capital. You can invest it how you see fit right away. The downside, well, you get it all at once. You're solely responsible for managing it from day one. Bad investments, overspending, the impact is immediate and potentially severe.
Okay, and the annuity.
The annuity pays out the full advertised jackpot amount, the $1.79 billion, or their share of it but spread over 30 years. The payments usually start smaller and increase, maybe 5% each year. It provides this steady, guaranteed income stream for 3 decades.
Like a forced savings plan almost.
Sort of, yeah. It acts as a built-in protection against blowing it all quickly or making disastrous investment choices early on. The Lottery Commission handles the underlying investment until payout. The trade-off is you don't get all the money up front, less immediate control. But for someone worried about managing it all or who just prefers that long-term structure, it can feel safer. Plus, it spreads the tax burden over 30 years, though you're taxed on each payment as income.
So it's a really deep strategic decision, not just which number sounds bigger. Tax, lifestyle, risk tolerance. It all plays in.
Precisely, which underscores again why having that expert team advising you before you make that choice is so vital.
Absolutely. And this kind of leads into that concept you hear about sometimes, the lottery curse. Sounds dramatic, but
It's not really a curse like a hex or something. It's more a description of a very real pattern. A surprising number of big winners end up broke, or even worse off just a few years later.
how does that even happen?
It often stems directly from what we've been talking about. Failing to plan, not knowing how to handle that sudden influx of wealth, giving in to all the pressures, the spending temptations. That's why the consistent advice from winners who've thrived is focus on long-term happiness, long-term security, not just the instant upgrades that can drain funds incredibly fast. It's about building a future, not just buying a faster car today.
That's powerful. Makes
Yeah.
you reconsider everything. Like, if you won, would you even tell your best friend right away?
It's a tough personal call, but yeah, many winners discover that once the news is out, managing expectations and requests becomes almost a full-time job. It changes relationships.
And it's interesting you mentioned the winners were in Texas and Missouri. Is there anything to that? Do some states just get luckier?
That's a fun observation. Statistically, not really beyond population and how many tickets are sold there. More people playing means more potential winners. But it is true, both Texas and Missouri have had their share of big wins, and Texas actually has a law allowing winners to stay anonymous for a period after claiming.
Ah, that ties back to the privacy point.
Exactly. It gives winners their built-in window to get organized. Missouri doesn't have that same blanket anonymity, but yeah, lots of Powerball action there too. It mostly just shows how widespread the game is.
It really does. Now, most people probably get the basics of playing, but maybe we can touch on the implications of the game's design itself. Like those crazy odds, 1 in 292.2 million for the jackpot. That's what makes these huge numbers possible, right?
Precisely. Those incredibly long odds are the engine driving these massive jackpots. Because hitting all 6 numbers is so incredibly rare, the prize money just rolls over, week after week, sometimes for months, until it reaches these astronomical sums. That unlikelihood is what fuels the dream, but it also shapes everything for the winner, how they claim, how they protect it. It's also why even matching 5 white balls, missing the Powerball, is still a big deal, usually $1 million.
And that can be multiplied too, right, with the power play.
Right, yeah, the power play option. For an extra dollar per ticket, it can multiply those non-jackpot prizes by 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah, the 10x multiplier only pops up when the main jackpot is below $150 million as an extra incentive. But even a 2x or 5x multiplier on that $1 million second prize makes a huge difference. It doesn't boost the main jackpot, but it enhances the lower tiers significantly.
So another layer for regular players to think about.
It can be a strategic choice, yeah.
And the drawings themselves, just for clarity, Wednesday and Saturday nights. That consistent rhythm keeps the game going, but also allows for those massive pileups, like the one on September 6th.
Exactly. And, pulling back, looking at interviews with past winners, you see them in major newspapers, on news channels, financial sites. The core advice is incredibly consistent. It's almost uncanny.
What's the common thread?
Don't rush. Protect your privacy fiercely. Get professional help before making big moves. Invest wisely for the long haul. They all stress taking time, resisting the urge to shout it from the rooftops immediately, building that team first. Don't react, plan.
It really sounds like solid advice for any major financial event, not just a lottery win.
Absolutely. Whether you hit the jackpot or come into an inheritance or sell a business, the principles of careful planning, expert advice, and focusing on long-term well-being are remarkably similar. And many winners, once they've secured their own future, find real purpose in philanthropy, giving back. But even that needs to be done strategically, setting up foundations, using donor-advised funds, not just writing checks impulsively. The theme is always sustainability.
And for anyone listening who might be thinking about playing or just curious, we see those searches too, right? How to buy Powerball tickets online, where to check tickets.
Yeah, definitely. The advice there is always straightforward. Check the official Powerball website for rules, make sure you're buying from a licensed, legitimate retailer, be wary of scams, and crucially, play responsibly. Only spend what you can genuinely afford to lose. It's entertainment with potential huge upside, but the odds are, well, astronomical.
That actually brings up a surprising point, unclaimed prizes. It seems wild, but it happens, right?
It really does. Millions of dollars go unclaimed every year across all lotteries. Sometimes smaller prizes, sometimes significant ones. People lose tickets, forget to check them, or check them incorrectly.
Millions just sitting there.
Yeah. It's a strong reminder to always double-check your numbers carefully and keep your tickets safe. Depending on the state, that unclaimed money often goes back into public funds, like education or state programs. But still, imagine being a winner and not knowing it.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. We've gone from that absolutely mind-blowing $1.79 billion figure split between Texas and Missouri. We've looked under the hood at how Powerball works. And most importantly, we've heard that incredibly consistent, valuable advice from people who've actually walked this path. The huge emphasis on privacy first, the non-negotiable need for a comprehensive expert team, and focusing on long-term planning over that initial excitement.
Absolutely. Those are the key takeaways, time and time again.
And of course, the Powerball story continues. The jackpot's reset to $20 million for Monday. The dream rolls on for others.
It does.
But beyond the game itself, maybe the final thought for you, listening right now, is, so, what does this all mean for me?
Yeah, that's a good question to ponder.
Think about it. Even if you never play the lottery, how could these insights about managing sudden change, the importance of privacy in certain situations, the value of expert advice, the psychology of big decisions, how could they apply to your own life? Your own big financial choices, career shifts, maybe even just how you think about your goals and preparing for possibilities.
It's about more than just the lottery numbers, isn't it? It's about the human side of navigating big opportunities, big risks, big changes.
Yeah, preparedness.
Exactly. So we hope this deep dive has given you something to think about. Keep asking questions, keep exploring the complex things around you.
That curiosity going.